I don't think anyone has won all 6 championships. I've been close, probably looking back over the years, I've been close, on most of them. If you're there long enough competing at the highest level, who knows what might happen.
Peter O'Keefe has had a season that most Irish amateur golfers could only dream of, from winning the Irish Close to being part of the winning team at the home internationals, to then returning home to Douglas to win the Douglas Scratch Cup. I'm here at the Old Head Golf Club at Kinsale to talk to Peter about his season so far, taking on a mentor role at his home golf club, and his aspirations for the rest of 2021.
Anytime I come down here, I just get the same excitement. The golf course is what I call always tournament ready in terms of how it's presented. You just never hear a bad word about Old Head. You know, for me, if I'm really trying to prepare for a links tournament, it's a place I'll come and practice when I can. But it's one that everyone should try and get to at some point.
So if you want to become Irish Close champion,
get to the Old Head.
Get to the Old Head.
Absolutely, yeah. That would be a start anyway.
So let's talk about the Irish Close. So you've got so far 3 very big wins under your belt, both individually and as a team for Team Ireland. All of it naturally began when you got that crucial half point with Dave in Paris Court and Battle Golf.
Battle Golf, yeah, that was the catalyst to my season. The Irish Close, yeah, I mean, again, they're hard to win. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 40 this year, and you know the crop of players I was away in Hankley Common last week are really, really good players. And I've been on Irish teams, and you're just experiencing, you know, all right, I'm around a couple of guys here who could probably do really well. But like on that team, I could see a lot of players going on to do great things. So winning a championship in a playoff against Rob Moran, who's, you know, one of the top amateurs in the country, was really satisfying for me. The older I get, you just see this conveyor belt continuing to produce top players. So, you know, I played well in the south, got beaten by Josh Hill, another good young player from the north. And yeah, to capture the Irish Close was great. You know, I suppose at my stage of my life, it's just trying to win as many titles as I can now, you know, so it was lovely. I have a great coach in Noel Fox, and you know, he keeps challenging me to get better, and it's hard and it's uncomfortable, but I suppose in my field I'm always doing exercises and movements around golf that can help, and I'm very aware of my technical flaws, so I suppose that's one thing I've become very sure on. I do a lot of work with younger players and trying to just instill in them that you have to be able to accept and have a good attitude to excel. And you know, there were times in Tullamore where I was prepared to just walk off the golf course in frustration. One particular case, the second hole in round 2, I made a 6, you know, rain belting down, 6 on a par 3. In years gone by, that would be me done. But you know, I have a little system, a little notebook, and got back into it and made an eagle and a birdie like 2 or 3 holes later, and had kind of made my peace with the golf course again, and continued on and had kind of steadied the ship. So and that has only been learned for me in my later years, unfortunately. Like I didn't have that toolbox when I was a professional golfer. I would have missed a cut 100%. So I suppose those little victories have helped me become a better golfer. Not necessarily hitting better shots, but it does help you achieve a higher performance for sure.
Sure. So has it been more mental fortitude that you've been working on? Or is that what Noel has been? Yeah. When you say it's been uncomfortable, is it the mental and psychological
side? I suppose
it's
challenging me to become or to go to a place where I am physically uncomfortable trying to achieve a different movement that's going to be a more repeatable movement over time. This is a topic that is debated very, I suppose, a lot now between coaches and performance coaches, etc. You know, being in it, I do believe that you can change a swing. You can. It's a fact. But it's how willing you are to stick with it. Most players will do the work, and then under pressure, or when they get to the first tee, they'll go back to what I call default, or you know, the more stubborn guys are the guys who are extremely committed. Like I go to a tournament now, I don't really have much to lose, really. I've only have to gain. I suppose, you know, I'm not going I'm not going to turn pro or any of that. I just want to keep competing. So I suppose it's in my interest, for my own interest, to keep challenging myself in those ways. So this is a process I've been on with Noel for 5 years. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a long process, but I mean, I suppose when you address your weaknesses, and I had a lot of technical weaknesses as a professional golfer, and you might kind of say, right, that's why you didn't push on, when I always believed I was a better player. So those type of things, they keep the challenge fresh the whole time. When I say it got better in Tullamore, I got better as the tournament went on. So when I was playing under the most pressure, let's say, particularly the last 3 holes there, I played my best golf of the season in those 3 holes, which was a big win for me, which got me into a playoff. And then playoff wasn't the best golf in the world by either of us, but I did enough to win the playoff. My short game, my putting was good under pressure. So, but I suppose the biggest win when I look back is, I was kind of out of the tournament. I'd bogeyed 13 and 14, having got to, I think, 6 under for the round through 11, and 5 under for the round through 11, and made a birdie on 16, one of the harder holes, and birdie the last, which was probably the hardest hole. So that's taken many years for me to implement under pressure, and it happened this year. So
if we go through the 3 wins this season, you've moved on from the Irish Close to a team win with Ireland at the Home Internationals. The scoring over in the UK seemed to be, it was phenomenal. How competitive an environment was it?
Yeah, very competitive. Again, personally, I was a little bit flat that week, which is really disappointing. I won 2 points out of 6. Very easily on that golf course. That 2 could have been 5 points out of 6. Like, I won my last singles match poorly. I started hitting it offline off the tee against a player who was really solid, and that golf course was all about driving because it was so penal off the tee. Really good. I mean, yeah, we beat Scotland day 1, which they were a really strong team. Funnily enough, it came down to an English putt either going in or missing for us to win, or for Scotland to win. So we would have all drawn on 2 points, and it would have came down to matches. So it was very tense for a while. Delighted I made a contribution, I suppose, in some description. Love the team golf. Absolute great. Best honour as an amateur golfer to play for Ireland. And again, to win a second winning medal on a winning Irish team has been great.
How different is it to win an event like the Irish Close to then winning in a team environment? Obviously, the Ryder Cup is actually going on at the moment. Yeah. How different is it for you to get up for those 2 different types of events?
It's very different, and I suppose, if I'm brutally honest, I tend to struggle more in a team environment for whatever reason. I seem to really have my heightened focus when I'm playing my own ball. That might sound selfish, but I suppose when I'm trying to win a title, or I feel my game is good, match you can play. I played a really good match against a Scottish player. I think I was 4 under for 17 and lost. So you kind of walk away and you say, well, yeah, I played well, I lost the match, and that's fine, absolutely fine. Didn't play the best against a Welsh player and won. He had a bad day, I had a decent day. So it can totally, the flow of the event can go like that. Whereas if that's a stroke play tournament, you're kind of saying, right, you might shoot 68 or 7, and it's a different mindset. I think it's one I probably find easier. Yeah, and I'd never won the Scratch Cup in my home club. I think I was reminded at the weekend I was second 8 times over the years. So yeah, it was great. I played well. Played in a group with Clodagh and Emma O'Driscoll and a young player, Mel Deasy, who's in Douglas, fantastic player. And it was a nice mix between me, 2 female players and a junior player. So, and it all worked perfect. So I could certainly see it growing. I think it's just the way the game is going anyway. So yeah, it was nice.
That mentor role that you kind of find yourself in, is that one that you were approached to take on, or was it one that you just found, look, I'm in a position here where I've got professional experience, elite amateur experience, I can impart wisdom to younger players to learn from the road I've taken?
Yeah, it's completely organic. It's something I just love doing. I suppose when I was a kid, John McHenry was the guy I lent on a little bit. You had older players in the club, but John was the guy who was a tour player, and he was the guy I wanted to play with and knock around with. And you know, as you're growing up as an amateur, you're looking at the Ken Carneys and the Noel Foxes and Garrett McGimseys. And again, you're just trying to see what they do. So I suppose I try and make myself as available as possible to the kids in the club. I think it's invaluable and it costs me nothing. Like, why shouldn't I bring those lads, or, you know, meet them at the golf club and play with them and just give them my thoughts. And it's not, you know, I don't force any ideas on anyone, but just being available, I suppose, is the main thing.
Sure. So then, with the rest of the season going ahead, you said there's a couple more events going on this year. You want to add to the trophy cabinet? Yeah,
like I'd you know, I've got my own goals I'd like to accomplish in amateur golf. You know, like I'm swinging it well. Like thankfully don't get injured pretty much at all. Like I work a lot on my own fitness. So there's just no reason why not. It shouldn't expand in the years going forward. So just going to keep playing, keep working hard and see what happens.
Can you share what those goals are?
Well, I don't think anyone has won all 6 championships. I've been close. Probably looking back over the years, I've been close. On most of them. If you're there long enough, competing at the highest level, who knows what might happen? Like it's you know, you get busier in life and different things happen. It's harder to compete in everything. There's a few things I'd like to achieve, but again, it's just about keeping to my processes, etc. Not to sound too cheesy, but it's just to keep doing what I'm doing and see what comes ahead, you know.
You said that you would be potentially join pretty illustrious company if you won the Irish Amateur Open.
I think I would. Yeah, it's someone told me this. I think only Padraig Harrington and Jimmy Brune have won the Close and the Open in the 1 year. And I think there's been 13 players who won the Close and the Open in their career. So I've part of that group, thankfully. But yeah, I just have it's probably the first championship I won. It's a lovely trophy. It's a nice title. I like the golf course. You know, again, it's all down to the weather. The weather up there could turn the whole thing on its head. It's such a difficult, demanding course as well. You know, I've gone very close to Lahinch, Baltray and Portrush over the years. So you never know. Might all happen in a short space of time.